Hi everyone, I'm going a little bit early and I will be going early from now on. I'm going to go at 9:30 for my Timeout Tuesday because it suits me a little bit better and I'm usually ready and sitting around waiting. So I'm going to go at 9:30 to probably 10:15 or so. And today it's a bit dark and dismal outside, but you know, it's winter. I'm going to look at the set texture notes. This is it. This is it here. Okay, and you can see that it's a bit different. It's got this weaving baskety type thing, some leaves and some sentiments. The dies that go with it are really totally different. They're just rectangles with patterns on them. Okay, so they're not anything to do with sort of the die set. So you could use them for anything. And they also go very well with elements of text. So just so you know, there is a DSP as well. This one, and it has got like a basket weave type paper. So one side has this, very realistic. I think they must be photographs, these ones. There is these two. I've got a couple there. I've got this that's like a wicker. The other side is like a woven texture. And then you've got a larger print on this one. A couple of those. Yep. You've seen that one. And what else have we got? I'll just set those over there. So I'm not holding them in my hand. I've got this circular basket, and then the other side is the cross one. Okay, so yeah, they're quite different, quite strong. So I'm going to use them today. I'm going to use my first one today is going to use the DSP. So let's get that out and ready. Okay, so this is the card I'm going to make, and I've used the DSP, as you can see. I'm calling it the torn look sort of thing, I guess, because I've got. Let's get this together. This is the DSP without anything on it, but I have stamped some leaves in basic beige on it. You can see that I've done that. Okay. I've got other bits that I've torn. Got my linen, got my sentiment, got my inside, and this is my cup. So I'm going to do that first, okay? So what I'm going to do is actually build the front first. So let's do that. I'm going to put that on. And you can see that I haven't torn this one because I discovered something that I could do, which was pretty easy. So I'm using the other side of the woven picture. Let's pop that there. Okay. Now I'm going to use this next, and I'm going to put it on here. So this is the other one that had the circular one. So I'm going to use that next. You could use whatever side you wanted to, but I want to do it this. Here we go. I can't believe we're going through May so quickly. And this is going to go in the middle. Now, I could have used that side, which is actually quite pretty too, isn't it? Just changes the card slightly from that one. I think I want the strong color here. So let's take this. And you can see I've torn the paper on both sides. And all I'm going to do is lay it on top like that. Okay. So that's basically the front of the card done, apart from the thank you. I've got some linen thread, and I'm just going to wind that around my fingers. 1, 2, 3, I think. I'm might actually do it in 4 because I want it to be a bit bigger. Here we go. And then I am going to put a little bit of tape here on the card, and I'm just going to stick that down similar to that, just randomly on this here. You can see what I've done. And then I've got my thank you, which I've stamped in basic beige, and then I've cut out with one of the circles from another set. And I'm going to put some dimensionals on that. Let's get those out. Trying to be organized this morning. I don't know if I am, but let's see. We'll see how we go. After this, I'm going up to do a coffee and card. It's just more like a meet and greet up at one of the local coffee shops, which is a completely new adventure for me. Bit anxious about that, but I think it should go okay. I know I have at least 2 people coming along. So if you're in the Pennant Hills area and you would like to come along, just send me a message and I will take you along on the journey with us. We are doing kits. It makes it really easy. Okay, so there's my thank you on. And then I've got some embellishments here. And I find the ones I want, which are hiding somewhere. Maybe I've only got these ones. That's okay. I can use these ones. I've only got party dots in this by the look of it, but that's okay. I can use these. These are brushed metallic. And what I think I might use is actually these ones here on this. So I'll put one there because that tones in really, really well with the background. And I might just put a small one there. Here we go. So that's that. Now let's do the inside. So at the moment we have that. I could leave it like that, or I can do what I've done here. And somewhere I've got my piece of paper. So I've got my basic beige here, and I've got, this is vanilla. Okay, very vanilla. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get, you can see what I've done. I've got this stamp here. And I'm going to stamp it, but I'm going to stamp it off. Okay, so I just put it there, stamp it off on the paper, do it there. That's probably a little bit. Let's turn it over. We'll just do it again. Maybe not stamp off this time. That's better, I think. And one down there. Yeah, just a bit blotchy there at the top. So I think I'll just leave it. Looks as if it's dappled in the sunshine. Okay, turn it over and take this onto the inside of the card. And we have card number 1, very simple card. You can see, and it's just got a thank you on it. So that's card number 1 today. And you can see that I've used slightly different color on that. Now my second card today, I'm going to continue with the same tones. This time using another piece of DSP. And this one is on crumb cake and white. So you can see I've left the inside blank at the moment. And I've got my cardstock here. Okay. So, and I've got all my bits and pieces that I need. Okay. So leave that to the side. Pop that up there for now. And I've got some pretty gold cutouts. I can't remember what I cut those out of right offhand, but it doesn't matter. So first thing I'm going to do is stamp. I'm going to get my colors. So I've got a few tones here. I've got crumb cake. I have pecan pie, and I've early espresso. And those are the ones that I think I want to use. Okay. So what I'm going to do is take one of these pieces of paper, clean off my stamp first because it has basic beige on it. There you go. And I am going to take, I've got two stamps sitting here at the moment, but I'm going to take this, actually I might put it on this one for now, because it's just a better size for me to hold. Got the basket. This is like a miniature of the one of the DSPs. So I'm going to stamp that in crumb cake. And I think I'll just put it about here. Okay. Now, wipe that off because I don't want any disasters like last week that I had. Put that back on. And then I'm going to get my other two stamps. Pop that one there. And I'm going to do this one first. Now I'm going to use pecan pie for this. I'm going to use it and just pop it on like that. And that is going to go just like that. Okay, got a little mark there, but that's okay. Right, so that's my pecan pie. It's a bit darker than what I had in the other one. And then I have, try that, clean that one off. AEST, which I'm going to use on the bottom. So it's just like that. So you see it's slightly different in color to this one, but that could be because I haven't stamped it off. But yeah, just shows that you can get different tones and different textures depending on what you do. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is splatter this. So I've got a crumb cake marker and I'm going to splatter ink on the top of this. So I'm hoping I can do this. There's a trick in it. If I can get it to work. Sometimes it works really well, and because it's been lying in there, it probably doesn't want to work very well at the moment. Let's see if I can get it to get started. There it comes now. Takes a few minutes for it to even. You might not be able to see this, but it is beginning to splatter now. There we go. You can see a few more. Splattering on this. Just give it a good shake because this is a bit older than the other ones, so sometimes it and I can even do that there. See, can cheat a little bit by just doing a few dots like that all over it. See, there's always a way. See, now I'm going to get my little sponge that I have and I'm going to sponge the edges with pecan pie just to give it sort of an aged, I guess, an aged look. So I just got a little bit here, putting a little bit of ink on there, and I'm just going to do that. You can see that it's just got a little bit of brown on the edges, which is what I actually want. There we go. And I'm also going to do, oh, my finger is cramping this morning. broke my wrist a couple of years ago, and every now and then my finger decides to cramp. I'm going to do the same on this sentiment. Just put a little bit on around the edges so that it sort of softens the white too. There we go. That should do. And so I don't get this everywhere, I'm going to put it back into its little bag. There we go. So the edge is done in pecan pie. And you can see that I have done. And the other thing that you can do as well is you can put a bit of this on it, which is wink of Stella, which will give it a little bit of a sparkle. So I'm going to do that on this one. There we go. Now, to build up the front. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I've got this here, and it's going to go on. Actually, what I'll do first is I'll put this bit on. So I'm going to get my dimensionals and put it on the other side of this. There. Stick into my finger. And there. Okay. Now, let's get going. Get this on. Okay, so I'm going to layer it probably about there. Okay. Now I've got this. I can do it in the same spot, or I can change where I put it. I can put it in here, which I think I'm going to do in this one. There is a reason for that. You notice I got a little bit of pecan pie on the card. And if I put that in there, that will work really, really well. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the end of this. Doesn't need very much. Stick it in my fingers and pop it in like that. Okay. Now, I could use, if I had my other glue with me, I could use that, or I can use one of these dots. See, I'm just going to put that, maybe there. Yeah, hold that in place. And then I've got my thread. Let's pop that on. I'm going to just put a little bit of sticky on there. There we go. Random. And then, oh, I've got my ribbon as well. Where did that go? Okay, so I've just got a tiny little piece of ribbon that I've cut. And I'm just going to fold it in half and stick it on like that. And then I've got my dimensionals again. And I'll put them on this. Take the backs off. And pop it on the right way around. Would be good, wouldn't it? It's going to go on upside down. There we go. And actually what I might do is put an extra dimensional on there, because there is a reason for that, because you can see that I have the base on dimensionals, and then it just sits up really nicely. Take the top off before I do it. Sticking my finger, and I'll pop that in there. That didn't stay that time. Let's try again. There we go. So that's the front of my card, apart from the embellishments. So let's put that on the card. Okay, like so. So let's get that, and that. We'll place that on the card. It's a very pretty little card, this one. And I've got some gold dots. These brushed metallic ones are retired, but I still have a few left. So trying to use up some of the things that I have. You can see that I'm gradually getting them. So I'm going to put the gold ones on here. One up there, one down there, and I might put that one there. Okay, slightly different place to the other one, but they don't have to be the same. Okay, so done. So that's the outside of the card. On the inside, I think I'm going to stamp off trying to work out which leaves I want to use. I think I want to use these ones. And I think I'm going to use crumb cake for this because just get that. And I'm going to stamp it off first this time because I want it to be sort of like that. Exactly like that. Okay, turn it over. Some tape on the back. And pop it in the inside. So it just adds that little bit to the inside of the card. And that's card number 2. So we got card 1, card 2. Now I'm going away from these colors. I'm going to my favorite color. Those of you who know me will know that I'm a big blue fan. My favorite color probably. And I'm going to use Put Party in this one. So this is my card that I'm going to do. And I've done sort of a shabby chic type background and so on in this, and use the textured dies. So use 2 sizes. And this one is white and Pool Party. So let me show you what I've done. I haven't completed it all, so let's quickly put it together. Got my ribbon, Pool Party ribbon. Okay, I've got my card. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my crumb cake again, but this time I'm going to be very, very lightly stamping off on this here with the, let's wipe that one off because I want to use the basket weave and some splotches, which I think are on, yeah, on elements of text. That's why I've got that one there. So let's put that one there. That on my crumb cake. And again, I'm going to actually stamp this off quite a few times. So let's make sure I don't get this over everything else. Just move those out of the way. Okay, stamp off. Just want you can see I just want a vague, and it doesn't matter if I miss bits, that sort of thing. Okay, now I'll clean my stamp off. And I'm going to get, so this is on the base of the card. I'm going to get my splatters that are on the elements of text. And I think I'll get, oh, which one will I use? I think I might use this one. It doesn't matter which one I use, but I think I'll use this one. It's just like little splotches, and I'm going to again just, you can see that sometimes they're a little bit fuller, sometimes they are very faint, so I will stamp it off just as I need it. Okay, and put one that's stronger there, and maybe one that's up there, and I think that should do for the back. Okay, now, so that is the base of the card. So I've got my Pool Party here, and I've cut it out, and I'm going to do the same with splotches on it. So what I need to do is to clean my stump off, because you can see I'm not doing it in crumb cake. I'm going to do it in Pool Party. So just make sure my stump's okay. And again, I'm going to stump off around the edges sometimes, and sometimes I won't. And I'm going to I'm actually going to use these leaves as well in Pool Party. So I might do that first. Okay. So I'm going to put one up there and one down there. Okay, just add a little bit of okay, let's take that off, clean that off in a minute, and let's do our don't off too much there. And let's try again. I just want it to be fairly light. Which I might use the other one too, because it is slightly, there we go. It's this one, slightly more round. And some of the dots are a little bit smaller. Let's see. Does a really pretty job. Okay, that's all I'm going to do on that. Now let's close this. Set that out of the way. I'm going to get this that I did earlier. So I've done this in Pool Party and Crumb Cake, and it's going to go on the card like this. Now I believe I just stuck it on the dimensions. I was just checking to see. So that's the first thing that I want to do. One there, one there, one there, one there. Might do another one up there. And bit of paper's come off. So I'm going to pop that on top of this. So you get this sort of shabby chic, I guess, vintagey style card with a modern twist. Maybe I'll adjust it a little bit. There we go. That's sort of where I want it. Now I'm going to add the ribbon to the card. Okay. So what I might do in this one is, you know how I had that little bit left over? I might end up using that behind the ribbon. I'll see how I go. I might not too. We shall see. So some dimension. Oh, before I do that, I'm going to put some tape along the side. Is that the bottom? Yes, it is. And I've got my piece of Pool Party ribbon, and I'm just going to lay it on the card. Bring it down a tiny little bit. Like that. Okay. So that's sort of that. Okay. Now, I will actually stick this on the card, and I'm going to do this with dimensionals as well. I have my scissors right here, which I do. Just hiding. Oh, just that piece of ribbon. Ribbon scissors here. Just take that little bit away. And I keep these specially for trimming ribbon because they are really sharp and they cut the ribbon really well. Right, let's put these dimensionals on. I hope you had a lovely weekend. Those of you who celebrate Mother's Day, hope you had a nice time. I had a very quiet Mother's Day this year because my family were all doing other things, but it was nice. We actually had 2 days in the city, my husband and we went to see Les Mis and the Ride at the ICC in Sydney, and then stayed overnight, and that was absolutely beautiful. Okay, so I've got some dimensionals on the back. Take the backs off. So I had a birthday on Saturday as well. So we had a birthday followed by Mother's Day, which yeah, is a bit crazy, but that's the way it is. If I'd been in the UK, I would be celebrating Mother's Day on a different day. I'd be celebrating it in March. But because I'm here, that's what I do. So I've got, oops, I've got a dimensional on my finger. I'm not quite sure where that's come off, but I'll just put it in there so that it's off my finger. So I've got some white linen thread here. Got two pieces actually. I cut two bits. I'll cut one long bit and cut it in half. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it under the ribbon like so. And I'm going to tie it like that. Just move it over a tiny bit and make a bow with the two pieces of ribbon. So it looks like a double ribbon, but it's a cheats way of doing it. Here we go. And that tail is a bit long, so let's trim that tail off. And I might trim that one off as well. Okay. There we go. Pop them in back in a bit. So that is almost the front of my card. You can see that I have put that on. Now I have the sentiment somewhere here, which is gone wockies in my taking it out of the bag. Here it is. It's still in the bag. That's fine. And I've pre-stamped a little note of appreciation for this one here on Pool Party with white Versamark and white embossing powder. It is also going to go on dimensionals, but I'm going to do something slightly different in that because the ribbon is quite thick, I'm going to put the dimensionals not on the middle, but up as close to the edge as I can, because I need it to stick to the either side of the ribbon, because if it just sticks in the ribbon, it won't be as successful. So I've got it like that, and then that sort of sticks to the card. Okay, like that. And I've got some party dots here. Got some Pool Party dots, and I'm going to put those on the card. So let's get so I got a small one, which I will put there. And another small one I might put up, oops, up here. And a larger one I'll put over here where it's a little bit more light. And that's my Pool Party dots on the top. Okay. Now, what else did I need to do to this? That's about it. Oh, I was thinking that I could put this in behind here, which actually would be quite nice, I think, if I just put that like that. It just adds a little bit to it. So let me do that. I'm going to put a couple of glue dots on it. One there. It wants to stick to my finger, not to the. I'm going to stick it, pop it in underneath, like so. And that should be enough to hold it. Just do a tiny little bit of glue on the end here. And that's card number 3. So let me show you my 3 cards for today. Got This is the last one I did. You can see I've just stepped it up a tiny little bit by using up that there. This was the second one I did. Thank you. Okay. And I used some Wing of Stella on this one. I didn't on that one, but I did. And it's a bit hard to see that it's got this splattering on it, but I guess if I held it at a different angle, you can probably see it a little bit. But yeah, it's got the splattering on it. And then this was my first card. And I used these, I think they're bronze, I think, dots on that one because it fits in really well with the basic beige. So that's a way to use texture notes. You can see the stamp set here. You're seriously the best. Thank you, and a little note of appreciation. I've used those two today. You could put you're seriously the best on the inside here, and that would be actually a really nice thing to do. Or even on this one here in Full Party, just there. I think that would add to that inside of that card if you were sending it as a thank you. So these are my 3 cards for today. Now, as I've said, I'm going to go earlier every week now from 9:30. What time is 10 o'clock? Yeah. It just suiting me better, and I just want to get it done and over, and then I can do other things during the day. But I love what I do. If you would love to follow me, I would love you to do so. The numbers of my followers are slowly creeping up. So please be encouraged to follow me. If you go to my blog, which is craft.jaeger.net, you saw it up there a few minutes ago. You can actually, where is it? craft.jaeger.net.au. There it is. What I usually do is I write a blog on it. So sometimes I had big problems with my computer last week, so it took me a while to get the blog up. But I also put a link to the YouTube, this channel, so you can just click on the blog and see a little bit more detail as well about what it does. So well, next week I'm going to see you at 9:30 again, earlier, but yeah, the same time as today. And I hope that you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you then.